Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon. Hi, my name is Dr. Malai Zeti, Sheikh Abdul Hamid, and allow me to share with you my presentation today. Okay, so the topic of my presentation is an investigation of digital literacy awareness and the rise on the use of digital devices for work and study in Brunei Darussalam. So that's currently my profile. I'm from CCTL UTB. Okay, so for today's presentation, I will go through introduction, literature review, methodology, findings and analysis, and conclusions and recommendations. Okay, first of all, on my topic. Okay, for today's presentation, I would just like to define digital literacy as the ability to access, manage, understand, integrate, communicate, evaluate, and create information safely and appropriately through digital technologies for employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurship. And this also includes competences that are variously referred to as computer literacy, ICT literacy, information literacy, and media literacy. So this is a definition that I take in terms of what do I mean by digital literacy. And this has been used by the definition from UNESCO 2018. Okay, moving on now. So let me give you a little bit of literature review for my study. So according to some researchers, teachers actually changed to online teaching, digital tools, resources, and new approaches, according to Ackerman and Garrett 2020. Others, such as Selwyn 2012 and McLaren 2019, said the transition to rapid online teaching, for example, with wider ICT transformation processes in educational systems have also happened. And perhaps in terms of implementing digital learning, it is not a simple switch to online formats, but it also requires strategy and leadership and implementing tech-enhanced learning and transformation. And this is according to Arnold and Sangre 2018. And moving on on digital experiences, teachers and students are compelled to embrace digital academic experience online, because again, these are the things that we need to do as far as digital literacy is concerned. This has been established as written by Lederman in 2020. So these are some just a little bit of literature review on digital learning and digitalization, and of course, online teaching. Next. Okay, for my research, let me now touch on the methodology that I employed for my current study. Okay, so in my research, I used a quantitative study, among others, and I collected responses on Google Forms. And this research study was conducted over a 3-week period. And of course, it was selected sampling, mostly to students at university level, higher education, colleagues, friends, and some members of the public. So it was in a way selected in a sense, because it's not going out to everybody, it's to people that are within our collection or our connections and our network. And then our analysis was used using a spreadsheet. Okay, so what are the findings and analysis of my research? So these are the current findings of my research. Now, I collected sample from 154 participants, and therefore there were about 154 responses. And at that age, there are about 63.6% who are between this age of 16 to 25. And there are about 13.6 within the range of 26 to 35. And there are about 10% who are between 26 to 45, and about 11% between the ages of 46 to 55, and lastly, about 1.3 who are about above 55. So you could say that majority of the participants in my study actually are within the range of the young or the youth, you could say, because they're between 16 to 35, about 63% of them, all right? And the remaining are about 13% and about 10. So it's about 23% are between the ages of 26 to 45. So I would say that a majority of the respondents are actually digitally literate, and they're not immigrants, yeah? They have been born in technology or using technology. Okay, next. Now, according to my findings documented, is that what I asked the question, for example, what digital device do you use to access the internet, for example, and take all that apply. So for my data, that I found that about 98.1% say they use smartphone. So quite a huge number actually use the internet, and they do using it via the smartphone. And tablet about 34.4%, and about laptop, or sorry about this, but about 95.5% also use the laptop. And then about desktop, about 35.1%, and then 17.5% use smartwatch, and others 5.8%. So you could say that the majority of the participants, this doesn't add up to 100%. Basically, what it means that I looked at who are the participants and what they use it for mostly. So the count was that out of that, 151 participants out of 154 actually say they use smartphones. Next. Now, what do you use your digital devices for, and tick all that apply? So a vast majority, about 150 respondents out of 154, or 97.4, said they use it for personal, which means social media, video, and so forth. And out of that percentage, the others who responded as well, they say for work. So about 89% say they use it for work. 29.2 say they use for business. 51.1% actually use for managing finance. And majority as well, a large majority, also about 88.3%, they say they use it to study, because a lot of respondents are obviously studying still. So a high percentage. But entertainment is also interesting one, where about 96.1% say they also use their digital devices for entertainment. These are covered probably through the likes of YouTube, also, for example, smart TVs and so forth. Yeah. So this is in terms of their digital usage. Then I asked other related question for my study. I asked in terms of how they felt about using technology. So from the respondents, about, I think 50% say they are highly confident, because the rating was between 1 to 5. So about 50% of respondents say that they are very highly confident in using digital devices. 44.4% rated themselves as 4, and 9% rated themselves as 3. And only a very small number of as 2. So in terms of using technology, a very, very high percentage of the respondents actually are able to use technology. In terms of question of confidence in using technology as well, I asked if there was any technical support they received if they were using new or unfamiliar technology. So this could be likes of video conferencing, new software, and so forth. About 73.1% said that actually friends gave them support in using technology. Family, about 59.6. But a relatively similar number of average, about 78.2 said that they use YouTube to teach or to use technology. And 78.2% also use Google or other browsers. And some participate in online courses and professional development, 24.4, not applicable, and so forth. So you could say that in terms of technology overall, according to the respondents, 73% at least or more believe that friends, YouTube, Google, and other browsers are the best people who give them support for using technology. Okay, moving on now. I also then came up with another set of questions and asked them, the respondents, what were the challenges they face, for example, in using technology. So in terms of challenges, okay, I divided them into two, external factors and internal factors. But overall, if you look at this data, the challenges they face, there's a fear of technology by 15.4% of the respondents. And then 55.1% say it's expensive cost. 85.9% blamed it on poor internet connection. And about another 51.9% says because of outdated or incompatible devices. 66% say limited time to learn technology. And technical issue is another one as well, 66%. So among all the factors that's seen here, about 85.9% felt the main challenge for them is actually unable to get on the internet, so very poor connection. And next to that would be technical issues. So these are the highest percentage of people who responded in terms of challenges. And of course, to summarize, okay, so technical issues, okay, high costs, time-related issues, outdated software, hardware, and poor internet connectivity are the main external challenges faced by the respondents in my study. And in terms of internal challenges, okay, there are lack of awareness and knowledge in using technology. There's lack of confidence. Of course, there's lack of skills using technology. They face emotional fatigue. There's emotional fatigue, physical fatigue, and fear of technology as well. So my conclusions and recommendations for my study is that we need strong support by management and policymakers to help our Bruneians to use to have more or to be more aware of digital literacies. Okay. Also, well, hopefully we can also seek, for example, to propose for more continuous capacity building and professional development on educational technologies. And of course, to have more collaborative efforts amongst institution educators if they are educators. And probably the most important part is to be more proactive and readiness to meet challenges. So I would say that in terms of digital literacy, based on my study, we need to have to be, students need to be more, respondents need to be more proactive and to be more ready to meet any kind of challenges. But as far as I'm concerned, they are very confident in using technologies. Digital literacy is very high. The rate of able to use technology is very high among the respondents. So that's something that is not so difficult for the respondents. And last but not least, I'd like to thank you for listening to my presentation. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you.